Hello students, welcome back and I hope you all are doing well. Through online classes we have completed one chapter, that is microorganisms, and lots of things we understood there, and I hope you really enjoyed the classes with me. And since we have completed one chapter, now I am just requesting you to go through the Genius app and practice all the questions which are given there, and also go through all the videos which are there, because that will really help you. Today we are going to start the next chapter of this class 8, that is force and pressure. We'll understand the meaning of force, pressure and the terms related with the same, and we'll try to understand all the concepts with the examples from the real life situations. So I hope you will be enjoying the classes with me. I am just requesting again that you must maintain the notes and do all the questions properly, and any doubts you're having anywhere, just write down so that we can discuss in the live session. So let's start. So the topic we have today is force and its effects. So let's start with the very first topic, that is force. So you can see the picture given here. There is a sofa chair, that is nothing but the object. One boy is trying to pull the sofa chair and another person is trying to push the sofa chair in the same direction, and because of this push and pull, the sofa chair may move from one to other place, and we can say these two boys are applying force. So in general, force is nothing but push or pull which tends to change the state, position and configuration of any object. Means when there is a push and pull, and that push or pull try to change the state means from rest to motion or motion to rest, can change the position, means the object can move from one to other place, and can change the configuration, means the object can change its shape and size, then we can say there is a force. So one thing is to be understood here, that if the force is there, then all the time the object cannot change the state, the object cannot change the position, the object cannot change the configuration, but still if there is a push and pull, we can say the force is there. For example, when you try to push the wall may not move, but still you are applying the force. If you are pushing a heavy object that is of around 200 kilogram, the object may not move, but still you are applying the force. That's why it is written it tends to change, means it tries to change the object position, configuration and state. So we'll have the lots of examples very soon. Next thing is, now if you know the push and pull from the picture, you can identify. Now there are lots of pictures given to you. You need to tell, if the pictures are given to you, in each picture you have to tell if the person who is applying the force is pushing or pulling the object. So A, B, C, D, E and F. You need to answer one by one, and this is just to check if you can differentiate between push and pull. So we can see in this all the pictures, each and everyone is applying force, either he or she is pushing or pulling, and that is to be differentiated by you. So I hope you will be able to answer. Now the next topic we have agent of force. That is also very important thing that we need to understand here. So very first you can read out the statement. The one which applies the force is the agent of force, and the one on which force acts is called the object. So very first you see this picture. The person or the boy is trying to pull a heavy stone. So here we have two things. The one thing is the person who is applying the force, and second one, he is applying the force on the stone. So we can say whenever we talk about a force, we have two things. One is the person who is applying the force, and that is nothing but the agent. and that agent can be living, can be non-living also, because we know even earth is capable to apply the force, that is force of gravity. So we can say earth can also be the agent of force, and the earth is applying force on each and every object that are there on the surface of the earth. Okay, so in this example that is given to you, we can say the person who is applying the force is the agent, and the stone on which the force is being applied is the object. So it is written here, the boy is applying the force on the stone, so boy is the agent and stone is the object. So any force example is given to you, you should be able to differentiate the agent and the object. Next thing, in the note you should write down and understand the meaning. Force always exists in pair, that is, for the force to come into play, we need the agent who can apply the force and the object on which the force acts. Means whenever we talk about the force, we must have both the things together, otherwise we cannot talk about the force. If the agent is there and if the object is there, then only force can be explained. So if I say, if I'm just pushing, so I'm pushing someone. So if I'm trying to push, I'm trying to push the object, so I'm the agent and the object is the one where I'm applying the force. So whenever we talk about the force, we always have both the agent and the object, and that's why we can say the force always exists in pair. So it's not possible that at a time it is just force or it is just object, both things will work together. So you can see the lots of pictures given. Everywhere we can see there is one who is applying the force and the other on which the force is being applied. So that is how the force is incomplete when we don't take both the things together, the agent and the object. So you can see the picture. In the first picture, the second, third, fourth, agent and object both are there, that you can also differentiate. Now we are coming to the next topic, that is effects of force. So very first you can read out the statement. When force acts on any object and if there will be any change in the object, then this change will be the effect of force. Means if we apply the force on any object, then object can have some change. Any change is possible, and that change will be just because of the force that I have applied, and that's why the change can be called as effect. So because of the force the change has come, so that can be called as effect of the force. So just taking an example, when force acts on an object, then the object can have change in its position, means the object can move, the object can change the state, that is can change from motion to rest or rest to motion. Configuration can change, that is shape and size. Direction can change, that is once we apply the force the object can move in different direction, and the speed can also be affected. So we can say change in position, change in state, change in configuration, change in direction and speed are the effects of force. So now we'll just go one by one, that is change in position. We'll see the examples and understand the meaning. So very first, the meaning is due to force the object can move from one to other place, and this is called change in position. So you can see the trolley we have, when we apply the force you may push the trolley, you may pull the trolley, but in both the case the trolley will move from one to other place, means the trolley will change its position, and this is just because of the force only. Second, once we kick the football, that is football may be at a particular position lying at rest, and once we kick the ball, now because of the force given by you, the ball can move from one to other place, means the ball will also change its position. So there are lots of examples in the real life where we apply force and there is a change in position. So this is one of the effect of the force. So you can find out some related examples. Now we are going for the next. Change in state means the object moving can come to rest and the object at rest can also start moving. So both things are possible. That is, the object at rest can start moving and the object in motion can stop due to force. So it is understood, if you kick the football may be at rest. Like the goalkeeper will very first place the football. So football now at rest. And now he will kick the football. So once he will kick or she will kick, the football will start moving. So we can say the football has come to motion because of force. This is one possibility. Second one, if the football is already in motion and coming towards you and you may try to hold the ball or the football, what will happen? The football will come to rest. So even you are applying force here to stop the ball or to stop the football. Like the goalkeeper will try to catch the ball and the ball will come to rest. So both things are possible because of the force. Other related examples you can find out in the real life. Next we have change in configuration. So meaning of configuration you should know, that is overall dimension, overall length, size, that is called configuration. So due to force there can be a change in shape and size of the object and this is called change in configuration. So once we apply the force, this is also possible. An example you can see the rubber band. So when we stretch the rubber band, what you do, you basically you are applying the force. So when you are applying the force, what will happen? The rubber band can expand, means its length can increase. So there is a change in length because of the force given by you. So change in configuration. Another example, when you compress the ball, you compress the balloon, again you are applying the force and what can happen here? The ball or the balloon will change its shape. So these are the two examples where applying the force can bring a change in the configuration of the object. Again you can find out more related examples from the real life. Next we have change in speed, means the speed can also be affected by the force. And the meaning of speed you have done in class 7, that is distance covered per unit time. So when we apply the force, the speed can change. So there are two different possibilities. The speed of a moving object can increase or decrease due to force. So both things are possible. If you apply the force, the speed can increase and the speed can decrease also. That depends on how you apply the force to a moving object. So let's take one by one. If force is applied along the direction of motion, the speed of object will increase. Means if object is moving and along the same direction you apply the force, then the speed will increase. So you can see the example. If this toy car, we can say that the toy vehicle or the cycle, when it is moving in a particular direction, that is towards right, and you further apply the force towards right only, then what will happen? The speed of this cycle will increase. So if the cycle is already moving in the right direction and you are also applying the force in the right direction, then with the time the speed will go on increasing only. So we can say because of the force the speed can increase. So next one, if force is applied opposite to the direction of motion, the speed of object will decrease. But if you just apply the force opposite to the motion of the object, the speed will decrease. So it is understood, if a ball is coming and you try to catch the ball, what you do? You basically apply the force opposite to the motion of the ball. So what will happen? The speed will slow down of the ball, and finally the ball may also come to rest. So it depends on how you apply the force, in which direction you apply the force, that will decide the speed of the object. So the speed can increase, the speed can decrease, both things are possible. Next we have change in direction, means once you apply the force to a moving object, this is also possible, the direction can change, and lots of examples we have from the real life. So the moving object can move in different direction when force is applied. So the best example, when there is a ball moving in one direction, and once you hit the ball, then after hitting the ball can start moving in different direction, like playing the hockey. So in the hockey you can see the ball is coming in a straight direction, and suddenly the player will hit the ball, and then the ball will start moving in different direction. So direction of the ball can also be changed with the help of force, or we can say direction of any moving object can be changed with the help of force. Same thing is there with the cricket also. So when the bowler will ball or throw the ball, and the batsman will hit the ball, then after hitting, the ball will move in different direction. So again, because of force, in this example the speed can also increase or decrease, the direction can also change, all things are possible. So most of the examples of the force we can see in the sports only. So change in direction is possible because of force. So these are the same some examples given. Now the note, which is very important: force is a physical quantity and its SI unit is Newton. So you should know one thing, that we can actually measure how much is the amount of force, and that is called physical quantity. You understood in class 7 the physical quantity, like something we can measure, like we can measure the distance. The distance is 3 meter, 100 meter, 1 kilometer. We can measure the volume, 1 liter, 300 liter, whatever. We can measure the time, 1 hour, 2 hour. So something which we can measure is a physical quantity, and force is also a physical quantity, means we can actually measure the force. And if you have the measurement of anything, you need to have a number, and you need to have some unit also. So we cannot just say that the distance is 1, the distance is 3. So if you're talking about the distance, you'll tell the number, and you also tell the unit. That is, the distance is 100 meter. So without meter, this 100 is incomplete. So that is a physical quantity where we have the measurement, and that is done with the help of a number that tells the magnitude or the quantity, and we have a unit also that will tell which quantity we are talking about. So since force can be measured, it is measured in Newton, like the force is 1 Newton, 2 Newton, 3 Newton, 4 Newton. So calculation of the force will be done in class 9th. In class 8th we don't have any calculation. So in 9th class you'll have proper mathematics also based on the force. So in class 8th at least you should know the unit of force. The SI unit of force is Newton, based on the name of the scientist, Isaac Newton. So that is the end of the class today. Today is the very first class, so introduction of the chapter and is done, and I hope you understood the meaning of force and how the force can change different things related with the object. The meaning of force and the agent and the object, I think it is clear to you. Now you can answer the question. And very first is, can you think of any other effect of force? If yes, then explain the effect with example. So I have explained 5 different effects of force, but can you think of any other effect? You need to think, you need to find out. So you should not repeat the effect which I have done already. You have to find something new. So just think and get the answer, and if you really get the answer, you must explain that with the help of any example from the real life. Question number 2, a table is given to you that is somehow related from the NCERT book. So you can see this table is not so complete, and one example is given to you, and based on that example I think you can complete this table. So the first basically column says the situation is given to you like moving a book placed on a table. So either you are pushing or pulling, you need to find out, or you're lifting it. So all things is possible, and based on this example you need to answer the question. So let's see if you can complete this table applying your own understanding of this force. So for today the class is done, and we'll continue this chapter, and I hope you'll find interest because there are lots of topics and lots of terms we have in this particular chapter. We'll talk about the force also and pressure also, and lots of examples we will get from the real life situation. So take care, Hari Om, and thank you.